Easy One Systems. Today's topic of the webinar is placement management. Let's go in detail. See, there are multiple kinds of engineering colleges that we see in India. So there is a tier one, tier two, and tier three. What is what is the difference between these three tiers? The first one, right? Tiers one is typically the IITs and NIT, National Institute of Technologies. So totally about 30 to 40 of them in place. You know, these tier one are identified as a tier one because the placement ratio is about nearly 85 to 100%. That means if the outgoing class has a strength of about 200 students, all the 200 are placed, or nearly 200 are placed. And the salaries of them, an average salary is about 15 lakhs. It could be even higher, right? So the different IITs have the different median salary, 15 lakh to 30 lakhs per annum per student. You can imagine the amount actually, right? The average cost to the company varies from 20 to 35 lakhs. And the number of companies that come over there, nearly 300 companies. In the top 40 colleges, nearly 300 companies go, and many of them top players in the respective field. Right? So the tier one have the best of the best companies coming to their organization, offering the best of the best salaries, and to almost all students. On the other hand, tier two slightly lower, and tier three is much lower. Right? So now you can imagine the salary difference between them also. So one has got, the difference between the tier one and tier three, the college is about 6 times, 5 to 6 times the salary. Okay. And this data does not even count how many people are becoming entrepreneurs. And if you see one statistics, many of the Fortune 500 companies today are led by the people who have passed out of the IITs. So of course, the things like, the students have higher acumen, higher aptitude, and attitude to work may be much higher. So that's definitely one reason why the success rate of the IITs with respect to producing the CEOs of the companies is much higher. But on the other hand, if you closely look at the data, you will find that there are many colleges which are as good as IITs in terms of the infrastructure, but performance wise maybe less and other. So that means there are quite a few colleges who may be typically tier two or tier three, but their performance in terms of the placement is much higher and the salary is also much higher. And the number of people who become entrepreneurs from those colleges is also high. So now what it means that the quality of the students, the attitude of the students to work hard, take risk is one thing definitely that will drive the percentage of the placement. There is no doubt about that. 50 to 60% is affected by the quality of the students. On the other hand, I see that nearly 30 to 40% of the things are purely determined by how much effort the college is putting in getting its students placed. Let me repeat again. So 60% of the placement success is based on the quality of the students you already have in your college. But there is remaining 40% is purely dependent on what the college does to place the students. So if you go in IIT, you will definitely find a placement department over there. There is a placement officer who constantly keeps in touch with the companies. Suppose if one of the IITs does not do that, dramatically you will see that the placement ratio for that IIT, even though it has got extremely highly qualified, highly talented and hardworking and smart students, the placement will come down. So that means as much as the quality of the student matters, equal importance should be given to the processes that you follow at your college. So in this webinar today, I'm going to cover primarily the three questions here. The first question is, how can you ensure your students are getting placed at suitable positions? So quote unquote suitable position. If somebody is extremely highly talented, very high aptitude, and is a completely introvert, he will be mostly a suitable person for to be a scientist. Similarly, somebody who is extrovert may be a suitable candidate to be in a marketing position or directly go into the CEO assistant position. The second thing that I'm going to answer or we are going to cover in this PPT is related to what activities can you perform to be on par with tier 1 and 2 colleges. See, tier 1 colleges already have some kind of placement system in place. They have mastered the art of placement. Tier 2 are able to do because definitely the quality of the students is good. At the same time, they have built those processes. So now coming to the tier 3, this PPT can definitely help you get to tier 1 and 2 and overall increase the placement percentage as well as the medium salaries that the students get and even get more number of companies visit your colleges. And the third one I'm going to answer in this is how can you achieve better results within the current constraints? That's extremely important because you can say IITs have a huge amount of budget for placement. You may not have that much budget for maintaining a placement office. So within that constraint, what can you do within your college to increase the placement? So these three questions I'm going to answer in this, or we are going to cover in this PPT presentation. So the first part, the quality of the intake, is out of the scope for this discussion. So now this discussion will focus on how can we make sure that the students that you have got in your own organizations are getting better placed. So let me ask a question, or rather 5 questions. First question, do you have the list of the companies that you want to reach? Let me rephrase it. Do you have exhaustive list of companies? That means if the final year's count is about 200, do you have 200 companies coming to your college? Or only five companies coming? If your final year students count is 200 and only 5 companies are coming to your college, that means for 100% placement, you need every company to hire 40 students. On the other hand, if we have got about 100 companies coming to your college that has got 200 students in final year, that means each company, even if it hires only 2 students, not 40, only 2, you will still reach 100%. So that means the first question that you should ask is, how exhaustive is the list of the companies that I have got in the college? So if you're a placement officer, how can you build the exhaustive list of companies in your database? That's the first question. Second, your alumni are a great source of information because alumni have studied for 4 years, 5 years in your college. They have natural affinity to your college. They are more inclined to hire the students from your own college. As the people grow up, nearly 30 to 40% of the recruitments happen primarily through the referrals. And that number keeps growing up higher and higher. So post a 20 years experience, most of the recruitments are rather, majority of the recruitments will be through the referrals. Of course, then within the referral, there will be a competition. There is no doubt about that. But reference is the starting point. So for your placement of the students in your college, the question is, do you have the data where all your past students are working now? How can you help increase the alumni interaction? How can you have alumni help in placement? How can alumni help getting more companies come to your college? Are you doing that? That's the second question. Third question that you want to ask is, how good is the quality of the communication with the recruiters? You find in a paper, there is an advertisement about certain jobs, and you find that 1 or 2 of the people in that company are your alumni. How fast are you reaching them? How regularly are you in touch with them? And if you had a couple of companies visited last year, are you reaching them only after 1 year to tell that, okay, then near the new batch and then you should come? Or are you sending them the quarterly update of what all is happening in your college? So today, everybody is burdened with the information overload. That means there is a fine line between not being visible at all to being excessively being visible and people will write you off. So somewhere you need to find a balance. That means you are in touch with your alumni, your past recruiters, the companies that have come earlier to your college. You are in better touch with them through the regular emails of what's happening in your college. Once in a while, you write a personal hello message and you see an article about that company in a newspaper, you send a congratulations message to them. You once in a while call them. You regularly keep in touch with them. And sometimes you send a reminder. So the communication has to become relation. Only when the percentage of the hiring will definitely increase, or at least the number of visits will increase when the communication transforms into relationship. So the question that you want to ask is, how strong is your relationship system? The fourth question that you want to ask is, how many interviews are happening? How many students attended? How many got placed? How many did not clear the test? What are the issues with the students who did not pass the test? What made the students who got placed become successful? Do you have all this data? You need to think, right? So all this tracking, analysis, getting a critical view of what is there, what is the process, that's extremely important. Then the last one is, within the data that you have got, do you have a thorough consistency of the data? Have you eliminated the duplicates? Are you still managing with Excel for every year separately? Some 10 different Excels where the data is all spread out? Now, these are the different questions that you need to ask yourself. And the better job you are doing in all these five, the better results you can get. As I said in the previous slide, the strength of the IITs is not just the quality of the students they get, it is also the strength of the process that they have built. So process is the one which will make sure that the efficiency goes up. The quality of the students is an added advantage. Similarly, in your college, if you go with a stronger process, definitely your placement will increase. As far as the CTC is concerned, the salary that the students are getting, that may vary. Because somebody who cracks the test within 5 minutes could be there in IIT, but your students may take a little longer time. But they will still get placed somewhere, right? As long as you follow the process. So the focus is, how can we build a robust process which will help increase the placement percentage no matter what is the quality of the intake. Okay. So now, what am I suggesting over here? Very simple 5-step process. 5-step process, you want to do it within easy one placement management system. Number one, enrich your company master list. Not maintain here, some 10 different Excels, manually editing this data one by one. Every time call and company, what's your address? What's your email? What's your phone number? That's all manual process. You want to make sure that there is as much automation as possible in getting the data, feeding it one time, using that data repetitively. First thing is, get the data of the companies, enrich the data. That means Constantly, you are making sure that you are getting more and more intelligence about the company. That if you have got some 10 students who have joined that company, all the 10 students should get data added to that company master list in addition to those students being your alumni. Because when the time comes, you can call any of those 10 people to increase the percentage of the hiring at your college. The second thing that you want to do is proactively reach the companies. Today, companies have got lots of choices. They can go to any of the colleges that they have got. Now, the transportation system being much more efficient, companies are in a position to travel to faraway places and come back without having to spend a lot of money even on the aeroplane tickets. Today, you can take a Vande Bharat Express and travel within 3 hours, which otherwise would have taken 6 or 7 hours. Right? So, definitely, what you want to do is be in touch with the companies better way, more frequently, rightly, just like the previous slide covered, right? Email, phone call, constant updates, regular reminders, something. Be in touch with them. Show that there is an action that's going on. So that way you are in their mind. Third one, schedule the visits and tests. Simply calling and telling, ha, when are you visiting? Oh, I'll visit maybe next month. Okay, thank you. This is the wrong call. When somebody says their company is going to visit on next month, you say, does April 15th look good? Politely, firmly, you want to put it in a calendar so that it gets blocked in their calendar. Only when you send a calendar invite, then only the visit is taken seriously. But otherwise, if it is not there, it may not even get into their calendar. They may say, okay, next time you call them, oh, I forgot, our company got busy with visiting other colleges. Maybe we'll come after 1 or 2 months again. So you want to make sure that you are actively involved in the scheduling the visits of the companies. They will also appreciate, because if there is a company and they have a choice of going to college A or college B, they will definitely go to one college which is better in touch with them. Tell that this is the date you want us, we want you to come, and this is the place where you can stay, and this is the schedule, 1 hour, 2 hour, 6 or 7 hours. So that way you are making their job of conducting the test and interview much, much, much simpler. So you as a placement officer work as an extension of the company, helping the company what they want. One thing to remember, companies do not hire an employee or from a college because they like that particular college. Only the alumni can do that to some extent. But in general, companies definitely hire from the place where they get the best resources at the least amount of the remuneration. And the predictability of the employee staying at the company is much longer. So now these are the three pain points of the companies. Now, within your constraints, try to safeguard company's interests. So that way, company will be more happy to come to your college, work with you to schedule the tests, and hire the people that they want. So that way, it's a very transactional. At the same time, a robust system where company gets benefited out of getting the best employees at the best remuneration that they can offer. Employees get benefited or the students get benefited, they are getting the jobs. And college is getting benefited because the students are getting placed. So that's the third step. Fourth one you want to do is track who is getting placed and analyze the data. If you have 200 students, in the first round, about let's say 120 are selected. Second round, another 60 are selected. 120 plus 60, 180 are placed now. You have another 20. So you want to analyze why these 20 are not getting placed. What kind of training they require? How has the historically what actions have you taken previously that made that kind of people in the previous year become successful in the next company? So do that thoroughly analyze. The example of 120, 60, 20 I gave is an extremely high example because it expects that there is a 100% placement. But many of the tier 3 colleges today, the first round of placement is only 2 to 5%. Second round of placement happens only for about 5 to 20%. That means in the first 1 or 2 rounds, only about 25% students are getting placed. And the maximum students get that placed is about 40 to 45%. That means there are remaining 55% of the students, they are not yet placed. So what you want to do from the college is identify what is making the students get placed and identify what is that need to be done to get the remaining students get placed. As much as is an effort by the students to clear the test, a college can play the role of catalyst here to make sure that your students are getting better placed. I use this in both context of employment as well as helping the students become entrepreneurs. In both the cases, the placement of management office has definitely a big role to play. And the fifth action item, these 4 that I told are not the one-time activities. They are to be done repetitively. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 again go back to 1. 6 Sigma. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control, and redo it again. So that way, gradually you may increase your placement percentage from 20 to 25 to 30, 35, 45, and so on without your extraordinary one-time efforts. With the discipline, you will be able to gradually achieve better results in a couple of years. This is what Easy One placement management system offers for you. These 4 items or the 5 items, Easy One system makes very easy to implement. So the benefit to the students they get. First benefit is trust. The students get a better trust that they will be placed. If you have 2 equal caliber students who have just passed out 12th grade and they have 2 colleges, obviously the students will go to the college which is offering more trust that the student will be placed at a good company with a better CTC. So that is the first benefit to the students. Students believe on the process saying that, okay, college is helping me to get better placed. And the word of mouth is extremely important because one good candidate may bring the next good candidate. Second one, students get access to the multiple job opportunities because the system will help them where to apply. There is a complete transparency in the process. Selection process, application process, notification, hiring, CTC, everything goes on a smooth, transparent process. The students are able to get a better visibility of options that they have got and the choice they have got. Because one student who does not get the suitable job of his interest will not be of great value to the company that he is joining in. So it's always in the interest of the student, the company and the college that a student gets the most suitable job that he really likes it. And the system can help. And the last one is the students can have a mentor among the alumni. Because when the student does not know which company to join, he feels good when he has the option of finding out which are the alumni working in the different companies, call them and speak to them and say, and I got this opportunity. What do you suggest? So the college is helping clear the bottlenecks to make sure that students are getting better placed. The next one, these were the basics that I told. Now with the AI, the placement management system is becoming smarter and smarter. Intelligent student job matching, automated alerts, lot of database decision driving is going on. Predictive analytics. Last year, this kind of companies hired this kind of people. And next year, this is what we are going to expect. So that way, you can increase the number of visits, number of calls, or stay at the same level. And you are able to track the students where they are going and all that. Then definitely the AI will help. Of course, you save a lot of time, manual effort, and that means you're saving money. And the last one, faster and efficient placement cycle. So that means in the IITs, if you see, right, most of the students are placed in the 6th semester of the engineering, maximum 7th semester. Now, in your college, if it happens to be a tier 3 college, at least by the time they pass out from the engineering or whichever degree they are studying, could be BSc, BA, BCA, whatever they are studying, by the time they get out of the college, they should have the next career path in place. So that again, the software can help. So my call to all of you, the first step, deploy easy one, transform your placements process. It will make your job easy as a placement officer. Second, you are genuinely helping the students get placed at a place they like it, at the suitable CTC. So companies get benefited, student get benefited, placement cell gets better name because you are placing, and as a result, overall, the institution's standing improves. So what could have been a tier 3 college can now become tier 2 college. What is tier 2 can become tier 1, and within the tier 1 also you can get ahead. So with this background, now we will get to see the easy one application, how the placement module is developed, and it's going to help you. Easy one, as the name indicates, is one system that we want your organization should use. It has got all the modules that an organization requires: sales desk, service desk, inventory management, finance management, library operations, dashboard, student master data, entire student master data. You can print the barcodes, you can print the ID cards. Admissions process, enrollment process, timetable, attendance, examinations, assignments, quizzes, learning management, complete library system including the cataloging, circulation, digital library, visitor management, reports, union catalog, combining the data of multiple libraries, HR system including the leave management, your project management, transport management, study groups, event management for your organization, including the placement related events. All of these you can manage in this easy one system. So now let's do one thing. We'll start with the event management. So when your college wants to conduct a placement drive, you want to conduct an event. Send a message to the students saying that, hey students, so and so date, we are going to have an orientation session on getting placed at a suitable company. You are driving interest among the students. Out of your 200 final year students, maybe at least 100 will come because they are getting the knowledge. Very simple. You just go to the simple screen and there is an event list. What all events that the college is doing already. You add a new event. You are put the details here. And students will get an URL, and that URL you post it on your website. Okay, when you post it on your website, let's say, let me go to this EV option, event management. This is the link. Of course, this page can be changed, the logo can be changed and all that. Students will register for that particular event. Placement management introduction. Now that is one. So what all you get in the event management system, you are able to have the students register for the event. After the event, you can conduct a survey. Okay, so what kind of surveys you can get? How was the class? What kind of benefits you got it? Okay, what should we do better? And all the things you can get it here. You can see the list of the response also. Integrating project management into educational practice. We conducted this webinar on 5th March, and this is the feedback that we got. And if I see, and this is the feedback that we received. Right? Very informative and knowledge session. Good. Happy that our people are liking. Similarly, for your placement management related events, you go ahead and conduct the events. That way, the students, once they register, you will be able to quickly see which all students have registered for the particular event and send them a communication. So this is the event list, and there is a list that will tell about who all have registered for that particular event. Event registration report. If you see, easily workshop at Acharya Institute, that we have it on 26th, and how many people have registered? Maybe 20, 30 of them, right? So you are able to see this. So for your organization, you will be able to define an event, take the registrations, conduct the surveys, then you will be able to see the complete dashboard of how are your events performing. Okay, see from easily total 108 events we have conducted. One of them coming in next week, right? So ongoing 2 of them. Today is one and the other one is coming up. How many past events? How many announced? 58. 87 registered for this in last 1 month. So you're seeing all this data. So for your placement, you use this. Then you want to be able to track the master data of the companies, right? Again, very simple. You go here. Here is the data of all the companies that you have got. Here in EasyLib, we work with the colleges. So we have fed the data of the colleges. In your college, you feed the data of all the companies here. Instead of 86,000, that data may look about 500 companies. But let me tell you, that's a gold mine of information. Because when you click on this, you get to see what is the company name, phone number, email, and who all are the people there. Their phone number, address, and all that thing. Going one step ahead, you will be able to track every communication with that company. If you find that there is an opportunity to do something with the college, maybe an MOU need to be signed, you add an opportunity to sign an MOU there. That way, you may forget, but the system will not let you forget. So opportunity you can track. PLC, this is the product life cycle we have got. Here, what you can do is you can maintain the cycle of when did they come. If they come every year, you maintain data of every year, how many people are coming, what's happening. So that way, next year, they usually come in the month of March. So in the month of February, you call them and tell them, sir, when are you coming this month? Because if everybody comes at the end of the month, or let's say in one particular end of the semester, there will be so much crowd. You may not even have space to accommodate some 20 companies coming to your campus at a day, on a single day. So it's in your interest to spread out that. So that's why you want to maintain the annual life cycle of the placement. Placement life cycle you can maintain annually. And there is one more. In case they are paying you, you can also raise an invoice in Easy One. Go ahead, tell that placement related services, create invoice. Then you can add the different lines. So and so. This is a sample data here, right? So let me go and see here. Here, there is a sample invoice that we had created. But here in yours, you are going to create an invoice saying that this is the placement services offered, whatever. You can do that also. Of course, you don't want to charge, that's no issues. You don't have to create the invoice. Right? Okay. Then there are other things over here. Attachment, the communication that you do with the company, you attach it as a document. Because sometimes you get a paper mail, right? That you can attach it over here. Then the P and plus P, what do they mean? All the interaction that you have done in last 1 month. Everything, whatever you do today, enter it over here. Suppose somebody made a visit, you make a personal visit entry. And the software will generate even a visit sheet that you can sign and then file it also. But otherwise, every activity that you did, you make sure that you create a plus P activity. It's very simple, very simple. Go here and who is the person what did you do over there and whether it's a librarian, principal, whoever it is, you entered, conducted a demonstration on placement software to attendee, to placement officers, right? So today, how much I spent time? Let's say 60 minutes. What did I do? Demonstration. So now it has made the entry saying that so and so person conducted this. So next time I go over here and I get to see what all is happening with that company. So you have a clear track of all the activities that you performed over here. Because sometimes what happens is that there is a placement officer and for some reason he goes to another college, maybe on a deputation, or he goes for higher studies for MTech or PhD, then your placement effort should not stop. You should also not lose the data of what all he has done earlier. So you as a new placement officer should be able to take from where he has left. So you can clearly track all the history of what all he has done. See, look at it. This sample data, 2017's contact is also over here. That's about 8 years back, right? So for every college, you can maintain this past contact data. Then if they say that, okay, call me on so and so date, you go and maintain this saying that, okay, call again. Follow up again, right? And if they have asked you to call after 15 days, put that follow up, or you need to going to make a call. If it is yes, call this and then make it. On that day or one day before, it's going to send a reminder. The software will send a reminder saying that you need to perform this activity. You click on OD, you will see the further details of that full organization. So what all we can do? We can add a company. Adding a company is very simple. You just simply go and add it here. Or what you can do, there is a screen to even import the list of the companies. If you have got a list of 500 companies, simply take the help of EasyLab, we'll import that data. And suppose you are sending a bulk email to all of them, principal's letter, in a letter form, simply go here, generate labels. And here you say to the recruitment officer, generate. Now this entire thing is ready. You just go, print it on an A4 sheet, cut it, paste it, send it to the letter. You can imagine the speed that the software is bringing over here, right? So through this, you can be in better touch with each of these companies. And when you do that, you will be able to simply see what all is happening also, right? So suppose if I click on ET, I get to see what all have I done today. I entered the data on another one, so that's why it's not showing here. Otherwise, it's going to show what all I did today, yesterday, before day. All those activities will keep showing over here. You can enter one more place also. So you have the name of the college, you have the address, you have the contact details of each of the person in that company. You can add more people as required. Then you are able to maintain placement life cycle, annual placement life cycle. You are going to create an opportunity if you are going to sign an MOU. You can attach that particular MOU that you have signed. You are going to be able to raise invoice if you have offered any services to them. You can even, if you are buying anything from them, you can create a purchase order, right? And if they have sent any bill, you can add that. TCRM is, this is one step ahead. If you are giving those people ability to open a ticket for any services, then this T option will be helpful. Here, you are tracking all the past contacts that you have done. When did you speak and all that? You can add a new past contact. You are going to be able to add a new people there. You are going to be able to see all the reminders for the future activities. You are going to keep a reminder for all your future activities. And in case the company has paid any money, you can even issue a receipt also. So net, the whole thing gives you an opportunity to be thoroughly in touch with the company. And here in the screen, you can do an exhaustive search. Okay, if you are interested in, let's say, zone Bangalore, I put only the Bangalore related companies will come here. Maybe Karnataka I'll put here. So Karnataka, 2,436 of them. If you are interested, you can put, okay, who is that assigned to somebody? Or if you know, okay, private limited, I put here. These are the 6 private limited companies added here. So you can filter it. If you want a report, you can export and take a report also. So you can first activate that we had, right? In the PPT, what we covered, enrich the master list. So in EasyLib, you'll be thoroughly able to enrich your master data. Because one time it's entered, it can be reused again and again. You are going to be able to proactively reach to the companies. You are going to schedule the visits and tests. So you can do it over there. And if they are coming over to your college, right, they have given a date, you simply go into the other module here, scheduled company visits. You tell what is the company ID. Automatically it will pick up the company name. What visit number, what day to what they are visiting. And you can add the additional details here. So let's say the company number 100. So EasyLib Software Private Limited is coming, the visit number 1. On what date? 31st March they are coming. How many days they will be there? On the same day they are going to go. It's a confirmed schedule. Count 100 people they want. Count selected. Anyway, that will be after the interview, right? How many people they require? About 100. Preferred batch. Let's say if I put ENC here. Select institute. Why this institute? Easily one is built for running your university. You can literally run an entire university in this. So that's why there is an option to choose which one you want. Suppose engineering college, you choose the engineering college. Then you add that data. So now you are maintaining the data of all the companies that are visiting your college on what date when they are going to visit. So full data is possible maintained over here. See, this is the one that I added here. Okay, visits are done. You are in touch with the company. Now, where do we track the placement data? Very simple. See, 90% of the work is related to working with the companies. Come and visit your college. That's the biggest effort. That's why you're doing all this event management to get the registrations. You are keeping in touch with the companies to see when they are coming. You are making a formal booking to see, okay, this is the date they are going to come. In the event registration, you are going to take the registrations. So when they come, everything should be ready. The people whoever has signed up will be sitting in a hall. These guys can give an introductory talk, then continue with the recruitment process. Very simple, right? Then once that is done, you are need to track the placement data. See, now today, one of the issue that we see in the colleges is that the colleges maintain very little amount of the data about the students when they are getting placed. Which company? How much is the CTC? Right? Here, what you can do is you can build a repeatability in that. What is the organization? What is the student ID? What visit he got position? What position? What is the CTC? What is the job location? And once this is captured, it becomes a master data. So that data does not go anywhere out. If you click on, I can show in the another because that's going to take more time. If I click on the student data, I see the full history of what all companies that person is working on, when did they get placed, on which city he is in, what's his position and all that. So you can link with even the alumni also. Very simple. How do you link with the alumni? Again, go into the student master data. All your student data is here, right? And in this all members data, you can see here. Maybe I will go to the reports or this member entry screen where you are entering the data of all the students. The profile, you simply choose as alumni here. Okay, all your data is selected. If you want to see the list of the alumni, you go to the customized report and choose the member type, right? Was it a profile? Member type or a profile? One of them, which is it? Profile. The profile is I'll choose alumni or old students. You are seeing the full data here. And then if you want to take a report, you simply go and choose Excel and you choose, okay, what year was he a student? Alumni, right? It's the first name, last name. What's his email ID? What's his phone number? Somewhere it will be there. You choose the phone number and export. You get the data here. So once you get this data, you will be able to be in touch with that candidate. We can imagine the benefit that the software is offering. So here, for every student, you are tracking or capturing the data, which company he is working in, and all the additional details. Then, if the company has already hired and you have the last 10 years data, you'll simply be able to import this data. Right? So here in this screen, there may be only screen, but imagine the background here. You are arranging the events, you are capturing the student data, you are having the visits tracked, then you are tracking, okay, who appeared for the test, who got placed, where did they get placed. And this is not the last step because it's an ever-growing system here. So constantly there is a huge amount of that enhancement that's going on in our software. So the ones that I mentioned, that's in the AI-based one, right? So they are getting added over here. And the good news is that once you decide to get the license for Easy1 placement management software, for 2 years, you are going to get every enhancement that we do into the system without any additional cost. So my call to all of you, take a few minutes, think through your own evaluation of this placement process, see how Easy1 can help you. And if you think that we can definitely help you, simply call one of us. My name is Asu, or Sidhu, or Sahana. Call any of us and we'll be happy to work with you, get this implementation done, your past data imported, and you should be up and running with the new placement software within 1 week. And our pricing is extremely reasonable, and we are very confident you would love to be our customers. Thank you and have a wonderful day. And again, remember, if you are not using this placement management system, pick up your phone, call us. We will help you get the placement system in place for your organization within 1 week for you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.